Let's take a quick tour of the garden. It's our first year gardening here at Hidden Hollow Cottage. First year we've grown any flowers or vegetables. Yeah, we had to take everything apart and start over with this space in order to create what we wanted here, how we wanted to live with the space, and how we wanted to honor Mother Earth. So here's what happened year one. Let's go. You might hear a bit of road noise. Hidden Hollow Cottage and Garden is tucked in between two commercial spaces and actually on quite a busy road. On the left is a dance school, and on the right we have a wonderful neighbor who has helped us with so many things and is wonderful to have around because I can share my baking with him and have the occasional chat, which is fun. But also to the kitty corner to the back of us is a kids club after school program. So sometimes it gets a little bit noisy, but you get used to it. And we're just kind of tucked into this little hollow in between these spaces. And to the back of us is a neighbor who is planning on doing some farming. So that's kind of the area that we're in. It's interesting how we came to be at this place because we came to this garden, my daughter and I happened to come here to a birthday party. The previous owner was having a birthday party here, and it was this beautiful, wild, magical garden that I instantly fell in love with. The funny thing was that some things that I had growing in the first house that we bought on the island, I actually had shared with this garden when we were moving out of that house and into a condo. So when we did buy this place, a few of our plants from before and a garden sculpture was already here. And that was a lot of fun, just seeing how things came around. I'd say that one of the most important things for us here has been to really honor Mother Earth. As some of you may know, I've written a book called Transforming the Mother Wound. And for me, part of transforming my own mother wound has been becoming closer and closer in touch and in reverence to Mother Earth. And so something that we really wanted to create here was not only a garden that nourished us, but also a garden that gave back to the earth and specifically to pollinators, and creating biodiversity, planting a garden that included many things together the way that Mother Earth plants things in the wild. There's always a cacophony and biodiversity. There's a little tree frog in there somewhere. So this first year garden, and I say first year because we were here a year before that, but not much was growing because everything had been ripped up for the septic system. And yeah, that was basically it. We had to take down a few trees that were dead or dying. We had to replace all the fencing. We had to take away the large hedge that was quite a nesting place for birds. And it was really sad to take that down, but there was nowhere else to put the septic system. But we did have a vision of kind of like what we wanted the garden to look like, and one of those things was having chickens. And we had this chicken coop built, and this area, a safe area for them. There's a lot of predators. There's eagles and hawks, weasels. I think that's pretty much all that would come in, maybe raccoons. But anyway, this is a very safe spot for them. Hello, ladies. I see you're digging up a new trench. They're great at digging up holes. They get so much fresh food. Today they had patty pan squash, zucchini, a cabbage, some beet tops, and they'll just peck away at it all day long until they're done with it, and then the next day I take out what's left and I give them fresh stuff. I love these chickens. As you may know, our place is only 707 square feet, and this is our guest bedroom. It's a little trailer we found online. We bought it locally, not far from this neighborhood. And it's just a little nook where our guests and family can come and relax. There's our tea corner, 2 different types of mint. And let me show you inside. I mean, I think it's cute. We had new curtains made because we didn't like the old ones. It was fully redone before we bought it, so we're really grateful for that. It's old. It's 35 or 40 years old. It's a Ventura. There's not too many of them made, maybe 35 of them. And yeah, super cozy spot. The sun's just gone away. In any case, we have 11 beds, 9 bigger ones, 4x8, and then 2 2x8. And we've planted vegetables and flowers together just to bring in as many pollinators as possible. And since visiting Findhorn in Scotland quite a few years back, I think it was 2008, I've been gardening with the fairies whenever I've had a garden, and that means that things grow really large. The squashes, I mean, I don't know. They just take over the world. Here we've got strawberries and parsley, tomatoes. Been cutting back the leaves so that they can ripen. And an extremely large kale tower. Again, like, look at these patty pan squash. As soon as you let the fairies in, wonderful things happen. And over there, looking towards the septic bed where all the yarrow and wildflowers are, that's where most of the pollinator stuff happens, but also in the garden otherwise. Green bean tower, leeks, beans for eating now, and the ones that are dying back are shelling beans, Jacob's cattle for stews and soups. More beans, potatoes are dying back. Perpetual, what is that? What is that thing called? Rhubarb. That's it. Second sowing of beets, some carrots, some onions. The cabbages just came out this morning and I made sauerkraut. Calendula is on its way out. I'm going to be harvesting the rest of the little heads and drying them for tea, which I've already dried quite a bit. Another mammoth patty pan squash. Cosmos, also quite large. More tomatoes in there somewhere. I think the alarm for my plum cake is going to go off in about 2 minutes. Anyway, here are some flowers, some zucchinis, some more cosmos. Kale. This type of kale I'm not crazy about, but the chickens love it, so I'm going to keep growing it for them. There's some sword kale as well. Some fennel peeking out. And this amazing bee sanctuary. The bees just love this agastache. We've got chard and beets and more leeks here, and a perennial arugula. Actually, I'll show you the arugula in the other bed. Another mammoth patty pan. And we've had quite a bit of broccolini. The plants are about to come out. I'm going to be replanting with Brussels sprouts. More calendula, which is just something that makes me so happy. beautiful lettuce. Some cosmos about to go into bloom. Excuse me, calendula. And then under here is the perennial arugula. Delicious. We have a linden tree over there that's going to become a large tree. A hazelnut. The squirrel took all the nuts while I was away. A plum tree. A lot of sunflowers. This is the septic bed. And these are all the beautiful clovers and California poppies and masses of yarrow that are growing here. I had a crazy idea to plant some squashes in the compost pit, but I don't think I'll do it again next year because I haven't been able to use the compost at all. But anyway, here's what I'm growing in here. There are these cutie patootie little pumpkins. They're like individual sized pumpkins that you can bake and stuff, or you can use them for decoration. They're gonna turn bright orange. And going into here, hello, big pumpkin. There's a very large pumpkin that is going to sit on the front porch. It's a Cinderella pumpkin. And there's another one. And there you have it. It's small, it's mighty, it's beautiful, it fills my heart, and I'm so happy to share it with you. A little plum cake for dessert.